Well, hello everyone. Thanks for joining me for today's Lunch and Learn. I'm Keith Armour. I'm the Education and Homework Support Manager down here at the main library in the Adult Learning Center. Today we're going to talk about a newer resource that we have. It's called O'Reilly's, and there it is right there. And it covers technology and business and a little bit more, different learning paths, over 35,000 eBooks that's just a click away. 30,000 hours of video to help you along these learning paths, and some case studies and even some conferences that have been recorded. So we're going to take a look at that resource, and then we'll look at some of the other activities that are happening in the next week at the library. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Well, all right, we've arrived at our wonderful website, cincinnatilibrary.org. I thought we'd start right here because I want you to save the date for this wonderful speaker, Doris Kearns Goodwin. She is a presidential historian. She has written lots of books. This book right here, Leadership in Turbulent Times, is her latest book, and she's a Pulitzer Prize winning author. And she really just knows her stuff, and she's a great keynote speaker. She's going to be the second speaker for the annual Mary S. Stern Lecture Series. And so we want you to save the date for October the 5th. It's a Tuesday, and the event is going to take place at the Aronoff Center starting at 7 p.m. And believe it or not, the tickets are only $5. And they're $5 because of the wonderful endowment that Mary S. Stern gave to the Library Foundation. So this is an annual event. We didn't have one event last year, but we are continuing the tradition here. This is a wonderful quote right here from the son of Mary S. Stern, and that is Dr. Peter Stern, and he is the chair of the lecture committee, and he is also a wonderful board member of our Library Foundation. You can, of course, join a book club. They're going to be discussing Leadership in Turbulent Times by Doris Kearns Goodwin. And of course, we also have other book clubs as well that you can join along the way. Now, we are going to have a Share Your Perspective. You can attend a community forum. And the first one of many that are going to come up is actually going to happen on August the 3rd at Price Hill from 6:30 to 8:30. And you can click right here because registration is required for that. And once again, the Mary S. Stern Lecture Series is possible through an endowment to the Library Foundation. So you can learn more about the Library Foundation here, and you can also learn more about the annual Mary S. Stern Lecture. So definitely save the date for October the 5th and look out for when you can order tickets that are only $5. I still can't believe that. So hopefully I'll see you down there on October the 5th. So I'm going to switch to, I'm going to go back to the main page. And I wanted to point this out too. This is your lucky day. Skip the wait line for popular books. And this little article was written by Tricia Spate, who is the Materials Selection and Acquisition Manager at the Distribution Center. And I like her first line here. It says, "I'm not one to play the lottery, but I feel like I've hit the jackpot when I get my hands on a good book." Now, what they've done, because bestsellers, the kind with long wait lists, are available now in all of our 41 branch libraries exclusively for our walk-in customer. So come on and see us at the library, and you want to see this display that has some of the newest books, and it says your Lucky Day collection. So definitely check that out. And so you might be able to skip the line on some of the books that you already were looking or had on your wait list. So we're going to go back to the main page. We're going to scroll all the way down, and we're going to, we're going to get to O'Reilly's in just a second, but it's right under here under featured research databases. You of course have the Cincinnati Hamilton County Public Library's digital collection here, just a click away. Consumer reports all the way back from 1991 to present. You can put in, any kind of consumer product that you are looking to do some research on, you can find that here. The Cincinnati Business Courier, current and also back issues all the way back to 1996. And I have done before Lunch and Learn on Ancestry Library Edition. And what's great about this is that you have access to all of this information, but usually this right here is only inside the library. However, for the past year, it has been available for home use. So, and that runs all the way out to the end of this year. So take advantage of that wonderful database. And then of course we've got Cincinnati Inventors Database, and those are those wonderful inventions that were built, that were that were created back in 1814 all the way to 1873. We're going to come back to O'Reilly's in a second. Treehouse's self-paced courses, definitely want to sign up for that. Any kind of tutorial on software and technology is LinkedIn Learning. And then, of course, we have News Index, the Washington Post, which is just a click away, the current issue, and of course, the current issue of Wall Street Journal. And then, of course, Literary Reference Center. It gives you a lot of good things about author bios, a lot of great information, especially if you're a part of a book club. But we're going to talk today briefly about O'Reilly's. And it's a learning, it's got over 35,000 ebooks. It's got 30,000 hours of video. It really centers around technology and business, but there's also some other things too for the average user. So they always try to highlight something at the very beginning, and this rotates on a regular basis, but this is called moving to microservices. And this is like a good example of that is having a whole bunch of different tasks that you want to happen using technology, and you want to put them all into one spot, a microservice, like an app that you would develop. And if you click right here, you'll see that what they do, they have a little playlist for you. And it's not a little playlist, it's a very extensive playlist. There are a lot of followers here. You've got, but what they've done is they've split it up. So you're going to learn about moving to microservices, but you're going to look at several different pieces of information, several different chapters from 3 different books right off the bat. So you'll see right here, here, and here, and then you have a chapter there, a chapter there. You even have video clips that are involved in this as well, okay? But they're going to pull out from a lot of different resources this the definite thing that you want to look at, and this is microservices. I'm going to go back to the home page. So they also have Explore O'Reilly Answers, and you can ask any question. You see some of the questions that are here. How to write good unit test cases. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll put it out and they'll highlight the different sections that just really answers that question. So they're taking all of this information from a lot of different resources from true experts, and they're giving it to you just a click away. And they're trying to answer that question for you. So I'm going to go back home. And then you have expert playlists, and it says learn from the best with hand-picked content from industry leaders. Having a hard time talking today. Math for machine learning, and that's ML. And you've got AI, and that's, of course, artificial intelligence. Let's click on that one. And this is a playlist. Once again, this is the description. You're going to learn, get started with responsible AI, artificial intelligence, and ML is machine learning. And here's the experts. And they're going to give you some books, some video, and some chapters from books as well. But a lot of videos in this playlist. I do want to point out this book right here, Responsible AI. And the very first thing I want to point out right up here is this right here, release date. The release date says August 2022. Well, it's July 2021, and this book has an early release and it's available to you right now. It's going to tell you the book description here. It's going to give you some publisher resources here. And then you have all right here at your fingertips. You can go to each chapter. You can read the whole thing. The only downside, this is the library edition, so you won't be able to save your place. So you will have to get the old-fashioned technology out, a little pen and paper, and write down, oh, okay, I went here and I finished right here on chapter 2, and I want to take up right here under model debugging. Okay, so that's one area that you're going to have to look at. So I just think that's great that there's this book that is going to not even be released to the public until next year, but you have access to it right now. Video Expert, you can go right here and you're going to find out that this video contains information on what to do when AI fails. And these two, Patrick and Andrew, will lead you through that discussion. And it's about 57 minutes long. And it was actually just produced this past May. And here's a little summary of what's going to happen in the video. And you'll get some great information that's very, very timely. I mean, May of 2021. So you would go through this whole thing and you would be able to pick up a lot of great information on how to make sure that you are responsible with your artificial intelligence. We go back to the home page, scrolling down. So we've looked at here, we've looked here, we've looked there. Right up at the very top, you can search for books, videos, live events, and more right here in this search field. So I want to make sure I point this out to you. And now these are some items that are recommended for you. And you can scroll through. And it's only 2 pages. However, if you click here, you're going to see a lot more that is in and you can keep loading more. Remember, there's over 35,000 ebooks here at your fingertips. So I'm going to scroll down again, and these are different learning paths, okay? I can scroll through here, and some of this is way over my head because I'm not into technology, but I do know Java. So you can definitely click here, but it says 40 hours, 40 plus hours of video instruction. So how to be a professional Java developer. And so you can click here and you would get, sometimes you get that error message. And that's the one thing that gives me some pause here. So don't be frustrated. Sometimes when you click on something, you might get an error message. Just reload, and sometimes things don't quite work out. Case studies are down here, and I love how they say learn how to avoid mistakes from the pros who made them first. So you can look at how Pinterest journey to the cloud, Spotify, Google, Microsoft. And then these are some items that were recently added. And this is where the average user would find some helpful things from O'Reilly. So if you're not into technology or business, this is where you're going to take a look. And right here is a healthy, quick and easy bento box. And if you click here, you'll notice this book is released for August 2021, and you already have access to it. And here is going to tell you how to make some meals. I love those Lunchables, but they're not the most healthy. They're quick and they're easy to pick up at the grocery store, but here are these bento boxes, and it just will go over all of the different things that you'll need. So you'll see the basics, you'll see the traditional Japanese one, the Pan-Asian one, and then of course the Western style as well. And you can click on each one of these and you'll find yourself with a little bit of a menu. And look right here, you have the picture of it, you see the calories, the other breakdown of the nutrition, And then it just kind of goes through and oh, look at that. That just looks wonderful. Now you compare that to a Lunchable, and I'm telling you, that looks much better than, than a Lunchable. So definitely check those out. I'm going to go back to the main page. I apologize for that one, but here's baby sign language. And they've broken these down, these recently added ones down in these categories. So you can go to the business section, the career development, data design, hardware, math, science, and engineering, other science, security, software development, system administration, travel and hobbies, and web and mobile. So if I go here to travel and hobbies, you'll see that it's broken down even more so. And there's that bento box as well. A rubber band engineer. Now that sounds like fun. But you see some of these books, here's the 2021, here's 2014, but all of these are great one click away books that you have access to, okay? So definitely check out O'Reilly's. And remember, you have to have a library card and a pen. It will, if you're outside the library and you click on O'Reilly's, it is going to ask you for a library card and a pen. But of course, if you need a library card, drop by one of our locations. We'll be more than happy to get you a library card. Call us at 369-6900 or go online and find the application online for getting a library card. So once again, to find this resource, you go to our main page, scroll all the way down to where it says Research Databases, click once, and there's O'Reilly's right there. And if something comes up like that 404, don't be frustrated, just reload it and it should pop in there, okay? Now before I go, I want to show you a couple of events that are happening. Of course, we continue to have our drop-in programs that are happening. There's, of course, outdoor story times that are just wonderful. If you saw, there was one featured on Channel 9, and it was Delhi Township, and such a great job that the children's librarian does over there for the outdoor story time. The outdoor office hours for our writer in residence, and that's happening this Friday from noon until 1. And we, of course, have some more drop-ins here. And then we have donate days at Green Township, and that's for our friends of the public library. So if you have some gently used materials such as books, CDs, DVDs, please bring them in because it really helps out because we then the friends of the public library resell those, and then that turns into programming materials, such as the Taken makes as well. There's one more that I wanted to point out to you that I just love, and that's this Marymount Masterpiece Theater. I just call it the Turkeys because they have on the patio, they have this on Saturday from 4 to 5 where they're going to highlight one of the legendary sci-fi or horrors, Turkeys. So definitely check that out. Let me click out and tell you a few more things. Oh, don't forget one more thing, that the Discover Summer is still going on until the end of July. So I'm going to tell you a few more things and call it a day. All right, that was today's Lunch and Learn, all about O'Reilly and a lot of business, a lot of technology, but also some really fun things too. Baby sign language, how to put those little cute little boxes of lunches together, all sorts of different ways to learn in a little different manner with those 35,000 ebooks and 30,000 of video that will really help you along the learning path. So definitely check that out. Now, don't forget that you still have 9 days left for Discover Summer. So you get your kids, preschool to teen, get them busy for the last 9 days so then they can enter the drawing for the different prizes. And then, of course, lots and lots of drop-in activities are happening at all of our libraries that are open. And, of course, our outdoor story times that are happening on really nice weather days as well. Tomorrow, Friday, for Coreyville, We are having outdoor office hours for our wonderful writer in residence. That is from 12 until 1. And then on Saturday, another Friends of the Public Library is having a donate days at Green Hills Township, and that's from 9 to 12. So if you have any gently used books or CDs or DVDs, please feel free to donate them because that then gets sold, and then that money comes towards the library to do other great programs throughout the year. And of course, I cannot, if I had the time and wasn't working on Saturday, Marymount is having their sci-fi turkeys, their masterpiece, I think that's what it's called. That's from 4 to 5, and that's on their patio on Saturday. So definitely check that out. Next week, I'll be here for Lunch and Learn, and we'll do another